Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today I want to talk about the Kingdom of Wayward's restructure and relaunch. So as you can see, we are once again having a nighttime edition for this particular video because there aren't enough hours in a day for me to do this during daylight hours. I am hoping that this is going to change shortly. I am hoping that I'm going to be able to make some videos that are a bit more aesthetically pleasing and not just my curtains, but for the moment you'll just have to endure, I'm afraid. So, the Kingdom of Wayward. They are an associated state within the Empire of Stomaria. They form a part of Stomaria. In fact, they were Stomaria's first territory and to date only territory. But more than this, they're very much an integral part of Stomaria because they're not just geographically close by, but they're also, because they consist of private freehold land, they're able to utilize that land to grow fruits and vegetables and raise livestock. We can take down certain trees and log them. So there's a lot of micronational activity, economic activity that can actually take place at the Kingdom of Wayward. And going a little bit further than this even, hosting events and meeting people at the Kingdom of Wayward, making it sort of a hub for Micronations is something that's definitely on the cards and something that we've discussed at length, King Raoul and me. So that is a possibility for the future. In fact, we have the Prince Alexander of the Princedom of Moreland coming to visit the Kingdom of Wayward in June, which is the current month that we're expecting all three of us to meet, King Raoul, Prince Alexander and myself, just to continue to build that real world relationship, that real world friendship, that real world connection that we've always strived for. So hopefully that'll be the start of something bigger, something grander, and so we'll just have to see how that goes. But going even further than that, King Raoul, on a personal level, we've known each other for just shy of 2 years now. So we built not just a good relationship in terms of micronational cooperation, but in terms of building a genuine real-world friendship. I don't hesitate to say that I consider him a very good friend, and I try my best where I can to look out for him and vice versa, as you do. But the history, the recent history of the Kingdom of Wayward has been relatively turbulent, and I just want to touch on this briefly before going on about the restructuring and the relaunch of the Kingdom of Wayward. So over the course of 2021, as I say, it was a very turbulent year for the Kingdom of Wayward. It virtually imploded. I'm not going to go into the details here because some of them are quite personal, but suffice to say that the Kingdom of Wayward very much took a bit of a hiatus, a bit of a backseat role, because King Raoul had other things to think about, other things to focus on. And it wasn't until the tail end of 2021 when the Kingdom of Wayward actually became an associated state within the Empire of Stomaria that there was some sense of reinvigoration in the project. and we've spent some months discussing ways in which we might develop the Kingdom of Wayward, and this has sort of culminated in what I'm discussing now, which is their restructuring and relaunch. Now, the flag, the name, all that sort of thing, that's not changing. The most important thing that is changing is how they go about recruiting citizens, and how people identify as Waywoodians. And simply put, they've adopted much the same system as we have, which is if you want to become a part of the Kingdom of Wayward, then you need to join through their Patreon campaign, which they've recently set up. You can become a citizen for £1 a month, or you can become a Waywoodian noble, a lord, a lady, a duke, duchess, whatever you like, for £25 a month, which is a near identical system that we have. And there are various perks and benefits to both, so do check that out, because I'll leave a link to their Patreon campaign in the description below. So if you are interested in finding out more or becoming a part of the Kingdom of Wayward, please do so through the description below. I will note that they set it up a few days ago, and they've already got 4 patrons, including one Waywoodian noble, which is actually at this point now catching up to the Empire of Stomaria, which is great, but also slightly disheartening for me, because we've had our Patreon campaign set up for some months now, and they're already primed and ready to overtake us in the numbers game. But at the end of the day, the Kingdom of Wayward, as an associated state within Stomaria, when they succeed, we succeed, and vice versa. So to some extent, it all goes to the same pot. It all goes to the same project, the same reason, the same rationale, which is the purchase and development, the development and the expansion of Stomaria, including the Kingdom of Wayward, because the Kingdom of Wayward is a part of Stomaria, as this as we are kind of a micronation of micronations to some extent or another. So that's the most important first thing, the sort of free-for-all, everyone can join and become a duke and a duchess or a mayor or whatever, at a whim. That's no longer a thing at the Kingdom of Wayward. They're very much, if you want to be involved, you pay the contribution, and for £1 a month, it's not a lot of money, even for how much is £1 a month in the great scheme of things. If people aren't willing to contribute even that, then honestly, how dedicated are they to the project? And that's the sort of attitude that we've adopted, and many others have adopted, because people can say that they support a project, people can like a comment on Facebook, people can subscribe to a YouTube channel, but if they're not willing to part even with the smallest sums, financially speaking, in order to support the project in a real and meaningful way, then what's the point? So that's the major change that's happened to the Kingdom of Wayward, with the Kingdom of Wayward. Now, they've also sort of revamped and reinvigorated their sort of Facebook page. Their online presence is going to be a lot stronger, so you'll probably see a lot more of them, particularly on Facebook. And posts, updates, photos and videos, they'll be a bit more regular. And there's going to be a lot going on. I'm not going to spoil everything now, but especially with the Princedom of Moreland coming on board as an ally of Stomaria, there's going to be a lot of cooperation between all 3 of us in order to make, in order to allow us to take that next step. In fact, on the 5th of March, on Saturday evening, we're going to have a meeting, a WhatsApp or a Zoom meeting or something to that effect, but a video call between King Raoul, Prince Alexander and myself. So we're going to hash out a few details concerning a few possible ways in which closer collaboration can be had. And I'll personally obviously be going to the Kingdom of Wayward, visiting there as I always do in the near future to discuss things in a bit more detail. But as I say, for the moment, the best thing you can do is go and become a patron for the Kingdom of Wayward, become a citizen through Patreon, and go and like and subscribe their Facebook page. So again, a bit muddled because I'm sort of doing my blurb, but in the middle of a video. Go and like their Facebook page, the link of which I shall leave in the description below, along with their Patreon. And just keep an eye on what they're doing, because they will have some more images, artwork, videos, posts, things like that. And it's going to be a very exciting time over the next few months in particular, I think, because there's going to be a lot going on between the three of us, Prince Alexander, King Raoul and myself, as well as hopefully additional Micronations and Micronationalists who I'm also in touch with, which are not just in the British Isles, but also elsewhere in the world, but I will get onto that in another time. For the moment, this is all about the Kingdom of Wayward, about their restructuring, about their relaunch, about their reinvigorated drive to accomplish the goals, the vision that they share with us. And so, yeah, I think that's about all I want to say about this particular video. I would normally say, if you want to become a member of the Stomarian community, you can do so through our Patreon campaign. But for this particular video, I would like to encourage you to go and check out Wayward's Patreon campaign. If you support what they're doing, if you support their project, if you want to contribute to their development, because if you've seen our videos, some of our videos, you will see what the Kingdom of Wayward is and what they're doing. And obviously these things, they require additional support in order to keep things going, and to some extent that's what we're doing. But if you want to directly support them, then do so through their Patreon campaign. So if you did enjoy this video, then please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.